all the people that we as a society um, elevate are fucking useless.
Literally.
And people were like, you're insane. I'm like, you know who's important? The dude that's delivering your food.
That's a fact.
The people who are cooking, the people who take care of your kids, people who take care of your grandmother.
Sanitation.
Those are the people. Sanitation people. People stocking food. And I go, and I knew that a long time ago. And people are like, oh, I was like, so you're saying that those people are more important than Jeff Bezos? Fuck yeah.
Absolutely.
Fuck yeah.
Yes.
I mean,
literally.
So, and then the pandemic happened, and
guess who?
And everybody was like, oh, there are heroes and blah 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 and so on and so forth. And I was
and
like,
that whole 7 p.m.
Yeah,
banging of the pots
and
in
they
the
told
windows.
them to stop because it's like that's not helping us.
But I mean,
They did it anyway.
you know Joe,
think
right?
it's not
Have you met Joe? My co-producer Joe?
I believe so.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
me and Joe had this argument where I said that money is useless. And that if you got rid of it, the only people who would suffer would be fire. And he was like, so fire is finance, insurance, and real estate. They're the only people who would suffer. Because everybody else who does something probably does it, or people would do things because they enjoy them. I know people who are carpenters because they love carpentry. I know people who are plumbers because they love plumbing. I know people who are electricians because they love working as electricians.
Yeah.
You find people who do the things that they love. You find people who drive cabs because they like driving cabs.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So what happens is if you took money away from everything, if you took it away and everybody just kept doing what they were doing, the world could keep on moving. Yeah. The only people who would be asked out are the stockbrokers and the insurance people and the real estate people and the finance people, and fuck them. And then what happened? The pandemic came, and what happened? All of a sudden, the delivery people were the most important people. The stock people were the most important. The cashier people were the most important people. The nurses, the doctors, right? The healthcare attendants who were coming to take care of folks that needed care, right? All those people, the delivery drivers, truck drivers, all the people
who stock groceries in the stores
that were making, what is it, 2007 fucking federal minimum wage. All those people were the most important people.
$8,000,
right? And who was fucking useless?
Which is crazy.
Who was fucking useless? I tell you who was useless. Fucking Elon Musk. The funny thing is that
it doesn't matter.
He's starting to hurt. He's actually starting to hurt his car sales. People are like, they have options, right?
Yeah.
And a friend of mine brought this up the other day. He said Elon Musk's success in Tesla is due to the federal government.
Absolutely.
Because they would give you a $7,500 credit to buy the electric car.
Oh my god, yeah, that's true.
Right?
Because
so for
a
every
lot
single
of celebrities kept doing it, and a domino effect. Because I forgot
they were trying
about
to
that.
get people to switch over to electric vehicles,
I
right?
forgot about that.
So $7,500 of every single car that he sells, even to this day, comes from the federal government.
I knew there was a subsidy, but I forgot. Yeah, it's from the federal government.
$7,500.
Wow. So they have money for that?
Was just like,
We have money for a lot of things.
Yeah.
We have a lot of money for a lot of things.
Yeah.
That's why they're so cozy with Washington. It doesn't matter who's president for them.
Right.
Yeah.
He's meeting in the White House.
And it's scary.
With presidents.
Yeah.
It's like, why are you even allowed?
Literally.
But think about it. You had Trump for 4 years, right? This dude was like on vacation for half the year.
Yeah.
And the other half of the year he wasn't doing jack or shit.
Yeah. Just on
right?
the golf course.
So I'm an anarchist, right? I don't think we need a president. It's on my fucking wrist. I put it here so that when the cops arrest me, they know what they're dealing with. You know, right? And for all intents and purposes, the country just keeps rolling.
Yeah.
Right? It just kept going. I was like, you don't have a fucking president. It doesn't really matter.
So how do you account for human avarice? Because that's the issue.
You only have human avarice because you have what I would term as artificial scarcity. There's no need. We live in a technologically advanced society in which everybody can eat.
So you think that if everyone was able to get as much food as they want, or as much
so here's my
living space as
definition.
they wanted, that there would be no one who would want more?
No, there were people who would want more, but my thing.
Yeah.
So here's my anarchist utopia. The basics that every single human being needs: food, clean water, medical care, transportation, education,
Shelter.
child care, elder care. Those are the basics. Everybody needs that. I don't care who you are. We all need it. The profit motive of all of those industries is completely destroyed and removed.
Right.
Okay? It's gone.
Okay.
Now, the basics. So now everybody's got a place to live. Everybody's got food to eat. They've got, the base. And I would even go as far as electricity, the internet, all your utilities.
Yeah, the basics.
All of that.
It's like water.
Right.
Like everybody having water.
Yeah.
That's the basic.
Yeah.
That's the floor.
Yeah.
Right? And from there, whatever you want to make money on or whatever people want to do with their lives after that is up to them. And I'm telling you now, electricians are going to be electricians. Plumbers are going to be plumbers.
Filmmakers will be
And they'll
filmmakers.
actually do their
Filmmakers
jobs
will be
do
filmmakers.
well.
Watchmakers will
It's
be
not miserable.
watchmakers. Programmers will be programmers. And people won't sweat it.
If you were to get on national television today and say that to people, why do you think, and I'm anticipating this, why
Yeah.
would there be an immense pushback to that exact idea?
There wouldn't be an immense pushback.
You don't think so?
Fuck no.
They'd call it.
No, the
they'd call
media
it-
would tell you there's an immense pushback, but everybody else would be like,
In
"What the
reality.
fuck is you talking about, bro?"
I think you're right to a point. I think there's probably about, in this country at the very least, like 30% of the
You're gonna
people
get, you know what
who
you're
would
gonna
say-
get
who would
pushback on?
say-
You're gonna get pushback on people who are like, "Yeah, but I bust my ass so much, so far, and I got it marked."
There are those people. So what do you say to those people?
So my question is, okay, so, you're sweating it out, so everybody else should sweat it out. That's what you're saying.
Yeah, it's a morality thing.
So-
But
so
what if they
like-
don't care about that?
What if they don't care about
What
what?
the morality of it?
Then fuck them. They got to move. For the majority of people would be like, okay, great. There are 6 times the amount of homes than there are homeless people.
Yeah.
It costs. I'll give you a good example. TAP and Pell Grants are $66 billion.
Yes.
You know how much it would cost to make, this was a few years ago, so these numbers may be out of date, but a few years ago, it would have cost $72 billion to make every single state school in the country free.
That's nothing.
Why the fuck are we fucking around with $66 billion and making people fill out paperwork and this, all that bullshit when we could just fucking make the shit for free? Why are we fucking around with that?
Because it's easier to control people that
Right.
aren't knowledgeable.
But it's also, you don't want people that are smart.
Yeah, you don't.
That part. Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
You don't want people that are smart. I mean,
They're
why-
more malleable that way.
right. That's why there's an 8th grade fucking reading level in the fucking country.
Yeah.
You know?
We got back to that.
Something like
That's crazy.
65% of adults never read a book after high school.
65%?
Of American adults don't read
I
a book
believe it, though.
after high school.
After high school.
So you have to read a book in high school,
I
Yeah.
have to read a book in high school.
right? You got to do a book report, whatever, English, whatever the case may be, you're done. When you graduate, after people graduate, they don't read anymore.
That's
They don't read a book anymore.
crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I can see that, unfortunately, because we're not talking about people who went to college.
But I didn't go to college.
Okay.
I'm a very proud high school diploma. I'm an autodidactic. I don't like school. I never liked school. My parents forced me to do the 1 year of college that I did.
Yeah.
And I was like, the first moment I had to get out, I was out.
Do you think that's because of the content of the books that high schoolers are made to
I
read?
had
Or
an
do you think it's
experience.
habit?
I had an experience when I was 14.
Mhm.
I had a real serious experience when I was 14. We were studying American history, and we did World War II. We spent a month on World War II, which for the United States was 4 years. Okay? Then we got to the Vietnam War. The Vietnam War was 12 years. We spent a week on that. And I was like,
What?
so you gotta realize, so this is like 1981, 82, somewhere around there, right? So I raised my hand, I'm like, how come we're just gonna move on from the
Breeze
Vietnam
past
War?
it.
Like, we spent a month on World War II, we spent a week on the Vietnam War.
By design.
And the teacher was like, it's just like that. That's just the way it is.
Yeah.
And then so the thing for me was like, somebody's hiding something. Somebody doesn't want me to know something. You know? So it's like, you know, when people are like I don't know if you heard a few years ago, you probably heard about this. They banned Mouse,
Yes.
the graphic novel.
Graphic novel.
I don't know if you're familiar with the graphic novel Mouse by the artist and writer Art Spiegelman. He's Jewish, and he wrote a whole graphic novel about the Holocaust using mice as Jews and cats as Nazis, and tells the whole story. and it's called MAUS. It's spelled mouse in German.
It's really great.
It's a fantastic. He won a Pulitzer Prize for it.
Yeah.
So
But
in
it was trying to
Tennessee,
be funny. But did Family Guy do a little snippet on that?
They
probably
I think
because
they
because
did.
it's
Okay.
a huge cultural touchstone.
Yeah.
He won a Pulitzer Prize for it, and some school district in Tennessee banned the book.
Yep.
And so there was a local comic book shop, and they announced that if any kid wanted a copy of Mouse, they could come to the comic book shop and get one
Get a
for
free
free.
copy.
I love that.
Okay? Okay. So then people were like, the guy got on TV, he was just offering it because he was just enraged,
Yeah.
right? And he bought like tons of them, right? And then all these kids started coming. And people were like, look, this guy's gonna go out of business if he keeps this up. So people were starting to donate
Okay.
That's
to him
great.
so he could buy more
Oh,
copies of
see?
Mouse.
That's amazing.
And then so many people
Community.
donated that he said, I have enough money and I can buy enough books that I can open this up to the whole state of Tennessee.
That's crazy.
Any kid
Wow.
in the state of Tennessee who wants a book, I can get it. The education system took away art and music because they wanted to concentrate on math
But
and
they're
science.
not just doing it with art and music. That's the thing. Like literally, I was going to visit like my brother and his kids or whatever. They literally have removed history from the schools. Okay?
I believe it.
And
I
like
believe it.
and listen, I'm a
So
sociologist.
it's not even
No,
like my
it
teacher
is-
who
it
didn't want
is-
to tell me.
It's like
Yeah.
it's knowledge. They're trying to control every aspect of knowledge. If they can take it from the musician, if they can take it from the filmmaker, if they can take it from the
This is
scholar,
new.
from
This
the
is new to me.
academic, right?
Right.
Like they're gonna take whatever autonomy, agency,
Right.
whatever means of production that you had control over, they're taking it from us.
For their name.
And you
They
know-
are like they cut sociology out of all of the fucking schools
Yeah.
in Florida.
Let me tell you. Let me
There's
tell
a
you,
reason why they don't want people to think independently.
let me tell you about Mr. Snow. Mr. Snow was my global history teacher in my senior year of high school, right? 1985, going into 1986, right? Mr. Snow was the biggest, he was like the epitome of like geek nerd teacher. Dude had Coke bottle glasses. You know, you had to introduce the bottom of his pants to his shoes. He had white socks, black pants. I'm not playing. But he had a pocket protector.
Oh, he was official.
All the way out.
He was official.
He was official.
He was probably smart as fuck.
No, but nobody respected him because they were like, it's just Mr. Snow. It's like nobody really, they make fun of him behind his back and all that. And he was one of these dudes that was like, people making fun of me all my life, right? So he would just like, it was like he was living in a cone.
Yeah.
It just bounced off. It didn't hear,
Yeah.
right? It's 1985. He's teaching global history. South Africa pops off. The anti-apartheid movement pops off. He stops teaching global history, and he says, "We are going to. I'm changing the class.
He takes
We're
that
going to change.
moment.
We're going to teach global history through the lens of South Africa. Your
Wow.
homework every night for this class is to go home and watch
Get up to
Nightline.
date. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. He just changed.
He
So
said that?
We go home and watch Nightline.
But you see that now? You see that agency he had? You see
Right.
that autonomy he had?
That's what I'm
they
saying.
literally try to strip.
Right.
They're like, you can't watch a Nightline.
So we would watch
Strip
we would watch these kids protesting and the cops shooting them,
Yeah.
and then we would come in the next day and we'd be like, well, what did you see on
They
Nightline?
wanna
We'd
take
tell
that
them, and he
away.
would say, okay, let's go backwards. Let's see how we got to this point here.
Yeah.
You know how much of an impact that man had?
Of
Wow.
All of a
course.
sudden, everybody was like, Mr. Snow is the fucking bomb.
Yeah.
Nobody saw
Yeah.
pocket protector, Coke bottle glasses, high waters, and white pants, and black pants and white socks. Nobody saw that anymore. They saw Mr. Snow
Giving you something.
giving us
Giving it
something.
information,
And nobody else
history,
was giving-
actual
This is one of the
history
things that, like,
with context.
when I would argue with people, like, oh, we need more standardized testing. Oh, fuck standardized testing. Fuck standard. When we were learning the standard, nobody was fucking interested. And the moment that Mr. Snow stopped and taught us about South Africa and went back to the wars between the Zulus and the British and the Dutch
No, he
and
sound
how
like
this
a
whole
dope-
thing comes
He sound
together,
like a dope ass teacher. Shit.
we were like, oh shit.
Did, yeah.
You know what I mean? So now what happens? We go outside of that class, right? And people are like, oh, I know what's going on in South. No, you don't know what's
Right,
going on.
they're telling you that same typical
I know what's
bullshit.
going on in South
Right,
Africa.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You could school your parents
Yeah.
on the history. That was a difference.
And you know, that shit was powerful in terms of making movements happen.
Here's the
Because
worst
it was
part.
like kids like you, that it was happening here, it was happening in other places.
Wait a
around.
second.
That's what made the movement
That had
happen
an
for
impact
people.
then.
The
Right?
revolution won't be
But then
televised.
I go in 2009. I go to South Africa for my film to play at a festival, and I get my girl goes, we should get a tour, but I'm not getting on no fucking bus. I want somebody to take us
To walk you
around,
personally,
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so she goes to the hotel and she says, I want somebody to take us. So the dude who owned the tour company, the bus company, he comes out and says, I'm gonna take you on a tour. I go, okay, cool. So he put us in his own personal car and we're driving around. He's like, so why are you in South Africa? I said, I'm here for a film festival. My film's about agitator. It's about the Puerto Rican independence movie. He goes, I was in the African National, I was in the African ANC Underground. I was a guerrilla fighter. And I was like, okay, I need that tour.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so what does he
I
do?
came ready. I didn't.
He takes me-
I forgot you talked about the punch.
To Soweto. And he takes me to the plaza where they shot this boy down.
What?
The cops shot this 13-year-old boy, right? During a protest. And the thing was, everybody's running, they shoot this kid, and his brother runs out, and the cops are marching and they're shooting, and his brother's been shot and killed. His brother's lying on the ground. He runs back towards the cops, picks his brother up, right? And then runs back. And the news cameras are watching this and all of that. And they catch up, a few days later, they go, why did you run back? This is heartbreaking. Why did you run back to get your brother? He said, what was I going to tell my mother
Oh my God.
when I got home?
Oh my God.
I mean, you know, like
So now I'm in that place. I watched that on TV in 1985, and now it's 2008,
and you're like,
and there's a statue of this kid holding his brother.
yeah.
Oh my God.
Bro, you know what I mean? That's insane.
And what you're talking
And all I'm thinking about is Mr. Snow.
Yeah.
what you're talking about is a real world experience that you're not gonna experience in
No.
AI. You're not gonna experience
Nope.
like some fucking
Nope.
teacher telling you about it.
Right.
Because
But
they're
but-
trying to make these people look younger.
Right,
and
but
it's
what
not
I'm
working
saying,
for me.
right, what I'm saying to you is that it's happening in films already.
I see. But I can tell.
They're-
You're
but
telling me I can't tell all
I'm
the
telling
time?
you can't tell all the time. I'm telling you it's in films that de-aging has nothing to do with.
No, I know. No, I
Right.
understand what you're saying.
Right.
But I can tell, like, the lighting looks different. The face look, like I said, it almost looks animated. The eyes, it looks
It doesn't look
weird.
artificial.
It looks artificial.
Part of that is the eye thing. They keep putting reflections in eyes that are impossible.
Yeah.
Okay, that's that's a thing that they do all the time now. So that's the distraction. So what you may be seeing is these reflections in people's eyes, or the slight changes in the color's eyes that makes it seem unreal. And you're equating that maybe to the de-aging thing. But what this guy is saying is 80% of the films that you watch
Call Samantha.
have people de-aged. Have actors that are de-aged in them.
That's nuts.
It's in their
How long have
contract.
they been doing that?
So this company, that's what
what-
this company does. They do that kind of stuff. They do that kind of high level video effects stuff, and they're using AI. You know, so it's the kind of thing where it's like, look, so it's like this person has crow's feet.
Yeah.
So what they do is they scan the crow's feet,
Yeah.
No.
and then they tell the AI,
right.
I
go
see
find all the
it.
crow's feet and get rid of it.
That's why. Did you guys see that? Did you guys see that Black Mirror, the latest one with Salma Hayek, where they're
Yeah,
taking
I
her?
saw
You
her.
saw that?
I saw that
Like,
one.
it's all about what you're talking about
Yeah.
there, right? Like,
Right.
they're taking their images and using them over and over again, but then the sort of touching up process is
Right.
a part of that.
Right.
Yeah.
And
That's
so
insane.
it's all over the place.
yeah.
You know, it's all
And
over.
people are doing it, so like, I mean, you might be like outraged by it, but people are
I'm
literally
not outraged by it. I just see
She's
that
just distracted
it doesn't
by
look-
it.
I'm distracted by
right.
it.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I'm
But
outraged
good
by it,
A
right?
good example would be, I was looking at some commercial today with, who's that guy that was on American Idol? The judge
Ryan
that everybody
Seacrest?
hated.
Ryan Seacrest.
Oh,
No,
Simon
Simon?
Cowell. Simon Cowell.
I'm
Simon?
barking up the wrong tree. I don't know why
Okay, I'm
I'm
sorry.
I don't watch that shit either.
Okay, right? But I saw a commercial. It was like maybe it was some pizza commercial or something,
Right.
and he was on there, and they showed him, and he almost looked animated.
Yeah.
Because they were trying to de-age
But they're
him, but
doing
did
it
not.
though. They're doing it. But like
it
the
just
line
didn't look
between
natural.
like
But the
animated-
thing about him, right,
Yeah.
is that he's a person who is incredibly vain,
yeah.
right?
Right.
Who?
And so Simon
Simon
Cowell,
Cowell.
Oh yeah.
right? So he's the kind of person where
Oh, shoot.
it's going to
Okay,
look
cool.
unnatural because it's
All
better.
right, thanks for letting me know.
'Cause that's what he wants.
Maybe
Okay.
I'll call you
Okay.
tomorrow.
What I'm saying to you though is that you're watching films. in which
about
it's happening all
okay,
the
cool.
time.
Bye.
I don't even know.
That's crazy.
I don't even know. That's just. But what I'm saying is the technology's gotten to the point, right, where, so, having been in this industry for a while, Simon Cowell is probably like, but I told you to de-age me, and you're like, bro, if we
De-age you
process your shit anymore, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're gonna be fucking Benjamin Button at this point. You know what I'm saying? And so, and people, and you know, so he's he's an asshole. So he's like, yeah, do it. And people do it
Yeah.
because, it's in his contract.
Yeah.
And then you look at it and you're like, bro,
Like,
what happened?
You don't
to
look like that.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
What is this?
you know what I mean? Are you gonna?
Yeah, right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Bum, 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 bum. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like,
That was good.
Jordan,
That was good.
thank you again. This was great today.
Of course,
You were really-
Yeah, we-
thank
yeah.
you.
But I can't leave
Get the
until
photos.
yes, we can't leave until we know who your favorite director is
Oh, that's right, Jordan. Who's your favorite director?
I
or
like
directors. I won't put you on the spot. You can name multiple.
stories about the losers. So I feel like David Fincher is probably my favorite right now.
I did not start
Because
to cheat.
there's
I told
like a
you.
helplessness. Like it's like a purgatory essence to his films. Like it's futile that they want to keep hope, but there's always a character that does, and I always love that character.
Yeah.
That you know they have no reason to keep hope, but they do.
Is there a particular movie you're thinking of?
I feel like probably 7. Like I feel like I was watching that as like
Yes.
a preteen.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's when I was trying to figure out, like, oh, post-production's really cool. And I remember the scene where, like,
Wow.
all the water's coming
Wow.
down on Brad Pitt. And I was like, how did they shoot this? And then just, like, how green the library was
Yeah.
and the vibrancy of how they colored footage.
Yeah.
I love all
I
this.
feel like all the technical aspects of 7.
well, you're gonna love the new 4K restoration. Yeah, I think he worked on
I
it.
didn't even know they were doing that.
I think he worked on it for like a year.
I believe it, though.
And Fincher is
Yeah.
like, he's a perfectionist.
Literally.
I couldn't work with him.
Yeah.
I started
I
to
couldn't
chase
work
him.
with him.
No,
I told
Yeah.
him. I was
I
like,
don't believe in perfection.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know,
Okay.
I believe in the happy accident.
Don't you think a lot
Yeah.
of artists believe
I like that.
in perfection though? I think
I think
people-
no, I
yeah.
don't. I think there are some. So there's in that same interview with Orson Welles in 1960, they said to him, the guy says to him, "Have you ever cast a friend in the role, and it been the wrong decision to make?" He's like, "Yes." He says, "Did you regret it?" "No." He says, "Would you do it again?" He says, "Yes." He says, "Because I don't regard art as being the pinnacle."
Yeah.
Right.
He's like, "Friendship is more important to me than art."
Wow.
Yeah.
Yes.
But he says, but he's not saying, but then he said there are certain artists
Yeah.
who that's their attitude, right?
Yeah.
And he's like not saying that he's not taking anything away from them or defining what an artist is. That's just not who he is,
Yeah.
Personally.
right?
Yeah.
And so I don't think that the thing about Fincher and the reason he can be that way is because he grew up with a certain kind of privilege. Like from jump.
Yeah.
I think
He
that's
did. He did.
powerful, and you gotta
Okay.
say the same thing about
And so he
Quentin
can.
Tarantino
He
too,
did.
right?
He
Like
did.
you gotta say
Yeah.
that about him,
Right,
Like
but
some-
I don't
right?
have that
Quentin
privilege.
Tarantino,
Oh, yeah.
right?
You know what I mean?
And that's
I feel
why
like
I was
that
asking him the
privilege is
question
becoming
about
the
Spike. Like
requirement to
Spike
make
was like,
films
you
now.
gotta
It's
go to
very
grad school
unfortunate
because you're a
it's
middle
so
class kid who
expensive.
like
Yeah.
went to
Right.
grad school.
Yeah.
And that's
You know?
also, I feel like, where there's a lot of pushback for like this like vertical cinematography because like filmmakers are trying to figure
Hello?
out like, well, I can't get the crowdsourcing that
Samantha?
you may be able to get with your
Right.
network. So they're
I
trying
was
to
calling to
use
see
their
if you guys were
iPhones to
still out
carry
playing
these stories,
pickleball,
but then
but
it's like when
Jerry
you go to
already called me
pitch,
back to say no.
you know, it's these big names that probably
Cool.
value
All right, take care.
how much money
Bye.
they're making back rather than the integrity of
Right.
the story itself. And unfortunately, that's more important than the content that's being
Because
made.
he's like Kubrick,
Yeah.
Fincher. He'll do 100 takes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That is privilege. I'm glad. Yeah.
But there's like
That's money. That is
So-
money.
Right,
That is
right.
money.
so
Yeah.
here's
Yeah.
here's another thing that I tell people all the time. The filmmakers that we know of, and this I should have talked about this in this podcast because this is important.
Wait a minute.
We
We'll
can-
have
we
you
can
back.
still-
You're coming back. You're coming
coming
back.
back.
We
You
can-
know
Part
that,
two.
right?
We
But
can
this is-
You're
still
coming
get
back.
like
This
you
is
know,
really really
You're gonna be
important.
the season
we
finale.
can still get shorts from you too about something that's really important.
Absolutely.
This is very
yeah.
important, right? The people we
Ooh,
know
should do shorts.
as
At other-
directors
Yeah.
who are the best,
Yeah.
right, are the people who can do more than one thing or have found somebody who can do more than one thing,
Yeah.
right? So it's like it took me a really long time to be able to talk about my ideas and to be able to pitch them, right, in a concise way in which people would be interested in them. Now, there's a difference between what interests me and what's going to interest
Right,
an
right,
investor or a
right.
studio or so on and so forth.
Yeah.
And I have to figure that out, right? And it's taken me like 30 years to figure that out. The people that we see who are the best are the people who manage to find a support system to get them where they are.
Yeah.
But they're the best people who got where they are because of that support system. But are they the best? Because there's a bunch of people
Who didn't get that
who
support.
never had that support system.
Right. Yeah.
Or there are directors who can't pitch and didn't find someone to pitch for them.
That's huge.
There are
There's
people who
probably
just didn't catch a good
can't
break.
piss.
Don't you
Who
find
can't-
don't you find that with most careers though? Like, I mean,
Yeah.
with music, like definitely
Sure.
with being,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
a
You
scholar or
actually
whatever.
do
It's like
people.
my success is really built on like the people who supported
Right.
me.
The
and
network
and
you
spoke
have.
for me.
Right.
Yeah, like, oh, you know, whatever, you know.
Yeah.
So
Right. So that's the thing that I try to tell. Because it's like, and I said this the other day, because like at my art show, I was playing Mingus at Antibes, right? And I was playing Wednesday Night Prayer Meeting, which is, you know, I've heard Wednesday Night Prayer Meeting in the recording studio.
you're like,
But
you're
live
like-
at Antibes is like, I got goosebumps just thinking about it, right? And I told people, and I said, this is the quintessential, and some people hadn't heard it, right? They were
Yeah.
just like, this is amazing, right? And I'm like, no, you got to check this out. Like you can hear Mingus, Eric Dolphy's on that record, right? And you can hear, like you can feel the energy in the room, and you can hear Mingus as Eric Dolphy is taking his solo. You can hear Mingus going, think about it, Eric. Think about it. Think about it, Eric. Think about it.
I love shit like that.
You know what I mean?
Cool.
And
I
just
love stuff like
egging
that.
Eric Dolphy on,
love
you know?
stuff like that.
And it's like, oh my God, this is amazing. And then I said to people, this is a recording, I think it's 1963. I go, there are 35 people in that room.
You'll never get stuff like that again, will you?
But what I'm saying is there's 35 people in that room,
Yeah.
Getting
Yeah.
that experience.
okay?
Right.
Live,
Right.
all right?
Right.
There's 35 people in the room who are experiencing that in the moment,
Yeah.
right? And then it's recorded for posterity.
Right.
Okay, what I'm saying to you is that John Coltrane could never have filled Madison Square Garden.
Right.
Ever.
Right.
Neither could Monk.
Yeah.
Right?
Wow.
But
Okay?
people-
They could barely fill the Village Gate.
yeah.
Great
Yeah.
point.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
That's a great
Okay?
point.
So what I'm saying to you is that the top people at the time, and you're talking about like Monk, people hated Monk. You know, they were like, he's playing all the wrong notes.
Yep.
No.
You know what I mean?
They're
And
all
now,
the
but
right
then
notes,
over
even if they're
time,
technically
these
wrong.
people are so ahead of their time, right?
They can't even understand it. It's like
Nobody
Van
can,
Gogh.
very
It's
few
like
people
Van
can
Gogh.
understand it in their own time.
I know.
It's
Right?
like Van
Yeah.
Gogh. It's
Yeah.
like so maverick.
It's
that
so
they,
gone.
they
It's
can't
so
even fucking
beyond.
get it.
So the
Leonardo
question I have is,
DiCaprio,
who are the people now
who are doing that?
who are doing those very same things that we
see
don't
You
appreciate?
see that everywhere though,
Who,
because
though?
like you
No,
see this
seriously.
you see this
No,
cookie
no, no,
cutter
no, no,
shit.
no, no.
Like
Who?
you know
Like
what I
who?
mean?
Do we know anybody?
What do you mean in
I
terms
feel like
of
it's
movies?
not happening because look at all the actors that are trying to create their own things. Like I feel like it's very unfortunate, but unless the person that you're pitching to can connect
and get it.
with your content,
get it, yeah.
it's gonna fly over their head.
Yeah.
And then the
Okay.
people that do need to be enriched by these stories never get them.
Yeah.
Because the investors can't connect with the content because
Yeah.
they're
But
so
but
high
I
up.
think the problem.
Yeah.
I think the
They're
problem
like,
is that
well, how
Yeah,
much is this gonna
exactly.
sell? Like
Yeah.
yeah, right. Like
no film loses money. Very few films lose money.
Very few.
That's
Very
not
few
the way they
films lose
paint it.
I
for
know,
us.
literally. I was about to say, I was like,
I'll
That's
give-
not the way they
This
paint
is
it
what I
for
say.
us.
This is what I say
That's
all
why
the
you
time.
say 3 times of what it
Right, but
took
when
to
I
produce.
so now they're losing money because
Yeah.
now they fucked up the whole industry, right?
Right.
Now they're
People
losing
are
money.
unwilling to go to the movies to even buy the.
No, I'm not. I'm talking about.
No,
So
it's not
It's
even
what it
that.
takes to
previous to streaming, okay?
Yeah.
Previous to streaming, you had DVD sales. You had international territories,
DVD.
right? So like you could make a movie, right?
They just
And let's
knocked
say
out
you
Red
let's say
Box.
you made a movie for $10 million, right? And it went to the theater and it made $3 million.
Yeah.
Okay, so you technically you lost movie in the theaters, right? But it was in the theater, right? 3% of all the films that get made in this country make it to a theater. So you have already
Did you say
separated
3%?
3%.
Oh my god.
No,
97% of
no,
the
no,
films
no,
that
no.
are made
Vagabond.
don't
no.
get into a theater.
That is fucked up.
3%.
Yeah, 3%. Yeah, and that's an old statistic that
Oh,
might
that's
be worse.
old.
So they're
Even
like
the films
really
that are made in the
they're
studios
weeding
aren't going
people
to the
out,
theater.
right? Yeah, they're like,
all
oh,
of
this
them.
is the people we're working from.
Okay.
You're not connected to that system.
Right.
Like you're out.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Okay?
So we are losing so much creativity because the people with the money,
But it's
because
not.
they don't think it's going to make them money or it's
But
going to
it's
make
not
them
just
money.
with
here's the
movies
thing.
either. It's with everything,
It's
and that's
every-
what
it's
he's
everything.
talking about with
Watch.
capitalism.
Apple will put out a new iPhone in September.
Right.
Okay? Apple gets, and they'll spend a couple of $1 billion doing that, right?
Yeah, but you drop it and it's broken.
Right, no. But what I'm saying is like they get 3 months.
It's not even that different from the last one.
They get a whole quarter, 3 months to prove whether or not they've made money, right? You could make a film, let's just say a Marvel film, where the last Avengers film was $250 million, which meant that the marketing and the promotion
What,
was another
Endgame?
$250 million, right?
Endgame?
Yeah. That was $250 million, right? So that's
to
half
make,
$1 billion.
to produce, to make.
To make
Okay.
$250 million, to make it $250 million to promote it and advertise it.
Yeah.
So that's half $1 billion, right? Okay. You have those filmmakers have between Thursday at 3:00 in the afternoon when it first plays
When it first opened.
to Friday at 7:00
make
at
a
night
mark.
to be a success.
To make a mark, yeah.
They have less than 24 hours
That's crazy.
to
And
make
then what happens
to
so
make people
that's
feel
what-
like
right.
they're going to
So
make back
see
half
what
$1
I'm
billion.
saying? Like that's what you're talking about. So like movies like the Marvels or whatever, like you don't there's no slow burn anymore for movies.
If it doesn't
Right,
make X
but
amount of
that's
dollars
because
right out
There's
the
no
gate,
slow burn.
But that's because
and you see
of the
that like
pandemic.
if they don't do well on the weekend, they just tank the movie.
Right,
Yeah.
but that's
You can-
because of the pandemic. The pandemic, what happened was Wall Street started to dictate to Hollywood what Hollywood should
Yeah.
do. During the pandemic, when I saw and specifically with Warner
So much
Brothers,
trash
when I
coming
saw
out.
what Wall Street was saying that, well, you need a streaming service. And I'm going, there's no way
Right. No,
that all
yeah.
these streaming services can't survive, right?
Yeah. But they were killing each other, right? It was like
But
cannibalism.
everybody was
They-
like, nobody's ever going to go back to the theater
Right.
ever again after the pandemic. And I was like,
Right.
bullshit.
right.
Bullshit.
Because there is something about going to the
It's an
theater, right? It's an
experience.
experience.
Oh my
Right.
God, the fun of going to the
The
theater.
pun- the
But
reason-
some people don't believe that though. It's insanity, but some people really don't believe that.
yeah.
But
I've gotten to
And
arguments
especially
about
younger
that.
people.
This
Yes,
generation,
yeah,
like
younger people
generation,
don't.
yes,
They
they're
don't
going to
know.
the theater,
They don't
they're
know what that
ready to
is.
share.
But
They're
I'm
ready
gonna
to
tell you.
share.
I
But
want
part
to
of that
share
is-
something
part of that is
with you guys
financial.
that I watched the other day.
part of that is
That I want to
financial.
talk about. Yeah.
Part of that is financial. It's expensive to go to the movies. Like I got a Regal Unlimited.
Uh-huh.
The Regal
You
Theater
go to movies
is
all the
1
time.
mile away
One
from
of
my
them
house.
out.
I
They had
used
to
to have it too, but
They had to cut one of them out because people were going to the movies too
I
much.
got rid of it because it closed.
Yeah.
So I'll go see anything because it
Yeah.
don't cost me nothing. I
Yeah.
go to the movies twice.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm
Right.
already ahead of the game.
Right?
So,
I would watch
so
2 movies
listen.
in a day, right?
So I want to talk to you guys about something because I watched this documentary the other day. It was called Bratz. It was about the Rat Pack, and it was like Anthony. I mean, I don't know.
Watch that. Were you
Because I was bored and like I was like, and I couldn't
I said,
find
were
what
you
I
high?
and I don't think so, and I couldn't find what I wanted to find on US Open, like for US Open on
Oh,
ESPN.
got it. Okay.
So I was like, let me
Right.
just
Okay,
watch
go
it,
ahead.
right?
Go ahead.
But I mean, we grew up during the Brat Pack, and I like
we
those
did.
movies and the John
I did
Hughes
too, I
movies
did
or
too,
whatever, right?
yeah.
And so, but the one thing that it really kind of like spoke to me about is the idea that like that was a demographic of like moviegoers. They had created a whole fucking genre, and it was the first time that they listened to fucking teenagers and made movies about teenagers. It was the first time. It was the first time and the only, well, not the only time, but they based that whole demographic of like 18 or whatever on those films.
Yeah.
And like what you got from those films, you probably will never get it again. Like you got like this voice from these young people talking about their experiences. Like, and I was like, I didn't think I would get into this film that much, like because it felt like Andrew McCarthy was just like saying, why did they label us the Brat Pack? And it felt
I tried to watch that.
yeah.
Maybe I watched it.
But there were people who were like people like Demi Moore who was like, no, this was a cultural phenomenon. Like
it was.
There was so many. It was, and like when you think about movie going now, and somebody described it. I can't remember if it was Demi Moore or whatever. It's like everybody stopped what they did for 2 hours to fucking go to the movies.
Yeah.
And it was like something culturally that we all share. Like you'll never have that moment again. That'll never happen again.
I don't think that's true.
I don't think it's completely true either.
I think the nostalgia is important though.
But
think about like Pixar bloopers. That's something that culturally is like a thing that everyone's impacted by. But it's like, what can I compare that to?
Right.
Same thing with Marvel. Like people know to stay.
Yes, to
But
the
it's
end.
it's never stated.
Right. So those are norms.
But
Those are norms. But those are
not
norms.
only because of Marvel, because of that whole stay.
Yeah.
They stay with every movie now because
know.
they feel
It's a cultural thing.
But those are not norms around being a young adult or being an adolescent. That's not those norms that we watched during those films were very unique about what it meant to be a young person in the United States.
An American third cinema. Because what happens is that during this time, this was written, third cinema was written in 1969 for the Tricontinental, right? So they're talking about people, oppressed people.
So third.
The Tricontinental.
Okay, so what is that?
The Tricontinental is Africa, Latin America, and Asia.
Okay.
The global South
So that
coming
is-
together to have a conference that was probably Marxist in tone and in left-leaning circles to figure out what we needed to do
To
to
tell
get
their
out.
stories.
No.
Oh.
To get like politically, artistically, everything, socially, culturally. It was the whole gamut.
So this happened
But
in
the filmmakers,
1969.
right? And the filmmakers write this manifesto, and they go and they present it, and they say Hollywood, capitalist cinema, art for art's sake in terms of European cinema, right? And then the third cinema is our cinema, where we make a cinema that is designed to free our people.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
Wow.
And then
I never knew any of that happened.
I
That's
read
so
that.
Interesting.
I read that while I'm editing my film, going, "Oh shit, I'm making third cinema."
Yeah.
I didn't know
Without realizing that
So
you're
without
I'm sorry,
realizing it.
Vagabond, where did you read this?
in a magazine called Vertigo. My history teacher wanted to hide from me. Might be in this movie, right? So I watched Apocalypse Now. I was like, "Oh, this is not your typical rah U.S. military
War is
World
great.
War II."
hero story. Like,
Yeah, I was like, this is why they didn't want us to see.
Yeah.
This is why they didn't want to teach about it, right? And then the funny part though is that at the same time that I'm watching that, I rent that movie in the video store, and I happened to talk to my English teacher who was really cool, and he was like, "Do you know that that Apocalypse Now is Heart of Darkness?" And that just blew my mind. Now, because I loved Heart of Darkness, right? I don't know if you're familiar with the African writer Chinua Achebe, but he hated. He thought it was a completely racist novel. That Joseph Conrad had written this completely racist novel. Because if you know anything about Heart of Darkness, it's about this dude there's a guy who's hunting for ivory, and he's taken over this whole. He's made himself out to be practically a deity at the end of the Congo River. And they send and the guy's name is Kurtz, which in German means short, small. And they send this guy Marlowe up the river in Heart of Darkness to go get him and find out what the hell he's doing. Like, we know he's crazy, We want you to go bring his ass back. And that's the same thing in Apocalypse Now. It's, you know, Marlon Brando plays Kurtz, and they don't call him Martin Sheen's character is not Marlowe, but he plays the part of Marlowe, and he goes up the river to find out what Kurtz has been doing, and all of that just opened my mind up. And then Apocalypse Now became my favorite film, and that's when I realized that everybody was lying. And then I was like, okay, I know how to do this now, right? And that also helped me to do my own research. You know, like, oh, I can find movies, I can find books, I can find this information.
What was it again that made you watch Apocalypse Now, though? Is it just because it was out, or what was it?
No, it was in the video store, and I just had this fucking issue with teaching Vietnam in class, and I was like, oh, it's a war movie and it's about Vietnam, I'll rent that. Like, you know, back then we had a lot of time. There was no social media, you know what I'm saying? Like, we had lots of time. So you go to the video store, and I'd spend an hour and a half in the video store. You know what I mean? Like, I gotta find.
That was like the best part of the night. Was just sitting there.
You know what I mean?
Is there a particular version that's better than
I like
Bring it a little bit closer
the
to
last
the
one.
desk for you.
Okay.
the most recent?
The most recent one. The one where they put back in the French plantation.
That's what I was saying. Yeah, because I know
Right.
they took some stuff
Yeah.
out of it.
You know?
Yeah, war movies are hard for me.
I don't know. It just. I feel like
They're hard.
Sometimes.
I watch them.
have you
one
seen
time.
Apocalypse Now?
I did. I have.
I mean,
10 years.
it's a war movie, but not really a war movie.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
I do.
It's more like a
Thing that takes place during a war, right?
yeah. It's like a thing that happens. You know what I mean? And there's just so many great. I quote that movie all the time. You know what I mean? Especially like
Is there a character you quote the most? Or actually,
no,
hold on.
there's just
I'm not even-
there's
I'm
just
asking
lines
the
that
wrong
I
question.
think, you know, it's just like there's
You're waiting for him to say so much, but we know we only have 60 minutes.
I know.
I don't know. It's not like y'all.
Listen, I'm holding myself back.
I missed the podcast. Okay.
Like I got all kinds of questions, and as he's talking, I'm like,
You might as well document it now.
I am right here.